Hello everyone, welcome again to the shop. I thought I would do a quick review of these two chainsaws that I have. I have a newly acquired Husqvarna 142 E series, it says on it, and then my old trusty Stihl MS-180C. I recently replaced the carburetor on this and it works fine now, if you saw my other video. It has the fixed jets, so I couldn't clean the carburetor that well, so I just bought a new one for $25 and it runs like a champ. Anyway, I just got this saw tonight, the Husqvarna 142. It's very comparable to my Stihl. Both of these saws run a 0.43 gauge 3/8 pitch chain. The Stihl here has a 14-inch bar, and I got a 16-inch bar for this one. But this one was sitting around for a couple of years, I guess, so it wasn't running quite right. I managed to get it to fire and run, but it didn't idle. So I took the carb off, cleaned, and I got it cleaning, and so I got it soaking right now. But I realized something. I thought I would show it to you as a comparison to my Stihl. And I'm not necessarily saying one saw is better than the other because I haven't even run the Husqvarna yet. Oh, and as a side note, this is a 40cc saw, the Husqvarna, and this is a 32cc saw. So they're pretty comparable saws, and they both weigh about the same. Pick them up, I can't really tell the difference. But anyway, all I needed to do was take off the air cover, or the cylinder cover, whatever you want to call it, air filter, and whatever other parts that were necessary to remove the carburetor. And in order to do that, I needed to use a screwdriver to remove 3 screws to take off this cylinder shroud air cover, and then I needed a hex wrench to remove the air filter, and then I can't even remember where I used all these tools, but I needed all of these tools I have laid out here to take the saw down to this stage. Of course, if I had the right size wrench, I might not have needed the vice grips, but I would have had a wrench in the place of these vice grips. I needed a flathead screwdriver, I needed an Allen wrench, I needed these vice grips, or a very small open-end wrench. I actually used these for the first time because I didn't have a very small open-end wrench. I needed this 10mm wrench, which I hate metric. If you're an American and if you're a gearhead like I am, you probably won't like metric. I needed a Phillips head screwdriver. I needed needle nose, flat tip pliers, this tiny little screwdriver, just to get down to this stage here. For my Stihl, all you need to do, I'll even do it right now. Say the selector switch is in the off position here. If you want to take off the air cover, move down to one selector switch. Actually, I'm going to digress for one moment, if you don't mind. There's choke, half choke, run, and stop, all in the same switch, right conveniently located by your thumb. Husqvarna has this awkward on-off switch that you can't quite easily operate with your thumb on this side. Then there's, well, the choke is actually attached to the carburetor, which is being soaked right now, but there's a choke that you pull in and out, and it's not quite positive. You pull it all the way out for full choke, and you got to carefully push it in just halfway for half choke, and there's, half of the controls on this side, half the controls on this side, and the knob you pull out, it seems kind of feeble, and if you pull it out, it feels like I might break it. I probably won't, but it feels feeble. So, I don't like that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Move the selector switch down to take off the cover. Turn this, and off it comes. There's the air filter, which you just peel it right off. And as a side note, to remove the air filter on this, you need a hex wrench. And then to take off this air filter box here, you need a 5/16 socket. I have it on the screwdriver handle, or you could put on a regular socket wrench handle. That takes off the air box, and those two nuts are on studs which hold the carburetor on, so the carburetor is free to slide off. What you need in order to do that, you need to use just some needle nose pliers or small fingers to remove the choke linkage and throttle linkage and fuel line. So, 2 tools to remove the carburetor on a Stihl MS-180C, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tools to remove the carburetor on a Husqvarna 142 E-Series. But who knows, maybe this Husky will cut like a champ and it'll blow the steel out of the water and it'll make all this worth it. Who knows? One other thing I noticed on the carburetor, I'm not going to bother taking it out. And the carburetor actually has a fully adjustable carburetor, but they're not flathead screws that you can adjust with a standard flathead screwdriver. They're like a, it almost looks like a spline shaft. In fact, I'll show it, why not? I don't know if the camera will pick it up because it's very fine. Oh, they're not in here. Duh, because I took them out. Here they are, here's the jets. Like I said, you can't really see, but it looks like just knurling on the head there, but it's actually like a spline. There's no flathead on the jet that you can adjust with a flathead screwdriver or Phillips or anything. But what I did, maybe you can sort of see the reflection and the blurriness there, but I took a hacksaw and I very carefully sawed a slot into each of the head on each of the jets, so I'll be able to adjust the carburetor with a flathead screwdriver. So again, for this Husky, you're going to need a specialty screwdriver to adjust the carburetor, unless you take it apart like I did here and use a saw of some sort to make a slot. But I think that's all that I wanted to relay to you. Once I get a chain for this saw, it didn't come with a chain. Once I get a chain and get it running, I'm sure it'll run fine after a carburetor cleaning. It has 170 pounds of compression, so it should run fine. But I'll do a test cut. I'll do a Husky versus Stihl, the two Chevy versus Ford. It's very controversial here. Hope I don't piss anybody off too much. But anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and come back in a couple days and maybe I'll have a comparison video of these two saws, show you how they run. Bye-bye for now.